Hello everyone and welcome to my collection video, my fourth collection video on this channel. And we already have a name change. I'm going to be changing the name. I was using the name Vinyl Finds, which I never really liked. I thought it was kind of stupid, but it was the only thing I could come up with at the time. And then a friend of mine, he goes by Creep1337 over on the socials, but I call him Creepy Josh. He suggested the name Vinyl Destination, which I thought was great. That's a good name because that is what I'm doing with it. The vinyl that I'm buying. It's coming into my collection. It's finding a home. I'm not going to be flipping it or reselling it. So it's found its vinyl destination, at least within my lifetime, until I'm no longer here, and then this crap becomes someone else's problem. But for now, it's found a home. So you might have noticed that I haven't done a video in a little while. I haven't been buying that much, and then just life stuff and etc, etc. But yesterday was a monumental day. I had a friend of mine who mentioned that their father was looking to downsize their record collection, and he knew that I collected records, so I got the phone call, and yeah, we made it happen. We went over to his place and we looked through all of his records. I picked out 75 of them, and then he went through them again, and he took 4 back that he wasn't really comfortable selling because they had nostalgia reasons or whatever it was, and fair enough. I made out very well. I'm not going to get too much into the price. Let's just say it was yard sale value put on the record. So we did very well. It was my wife and I who both went through it, and we both did very well. So out of the records, I think I had 71 left. I don't know how much is here because a bunch of it was my wife's, and I put her stuff off to the side. If she wants to show it at some point, she can. I really have nothing to say about the records that she chose. So all this stuff is coming into my collection. I did tease something out there on the socials, and I did. With the records, he also had a couple of receivers, old school receivers. One was a Sherwood, and another one was a Pioneer. After we went through the records, I asked him, like, what are you doing with those? And he's like, I'm not sure if they work or how good they are. So they're a little bit in a gray area on whether or not I've actually purchased them, because what I'm going to do is go and take a look at them and see if they work. And if they both work, I'm going to give one back to him, and I'm going to keep one, and I'll throw him some money for the one I keep. If only one works and the other doesn't, he told me to throw one out and keep the one that works. And then if they both don't work, to throw them both out. So that's where that's at. Right now I've just plugged them both in and they both power on. And that's as far as I've gone until I go in and I'm going to clean it up, and then I'm going to see how good they sound. But all the records I absolutely did buy. So the great thing about him too is that he had a very a bit of an eclectic collection, especially for up here in Sudbury. I mean, you go and look at records, and it's all going to be either rock and roll, maybe some adult contemporary, and a whole lot of country. But he had some funk and soul and stuff like that I enjoy. So we got some good stuff here. So this is kind of semi-separated too. I just have like the generic stuff I kind of grabbed, sort of. I have a pile here that's going to make my buddy Bill extremely jealous. And then I have several records off to the side here that were kind of, I won't say they were holy grails, but there's some here that I've been looking for a long time. And I thought, not only did I not think I'd be able to actually get one of these records, especially up here, but for a yard sale price, can't be beat. Okay, so let's get to it. So first up, I have several James Gang records. So we got James Gang Live, Straight Shooter, and Passing Through. And if you don't know anything about the James Gang, this is Joe Walsh from the Eagles band. I'm not a fan of the Eagles, but Joe Walsh, solo career, James Gang, aces. Check them out. So yeah, I was thrilled to get those. And then he had a bunch of Quincy Jones. here. So we got Quincy Jones Live. Or, sorry, Quincy Jones, I Heard That. I thought this was a live album. I guess it might be. Mellow Madness. I don't know how to say that. Julia Gulia? I don't know, Gula Matari. Got Cover a Bridge Over Troubled Water on here. That must be good. The Dude, which the guy that I bought this from said this is probably his best album. We shall see. We got Body Heat. And yeah, I did it again. I picked up, okay, so there's a couple times here where I accidentally picked up 2 copies of an album. Actually, it happened twice, and it's the next record. So I accidentally bought 2 copies of that. Apparently his wife and him, when they got together, they both had separate record collections, brought them together, and they had some overlapping tastes. So I guess Quincy Jones was one of them. Okay, then I accidentally bought 2 copies of Stevie Wonder's, what the heck's this called? Fulfillness First Finale? I don't know, I see Stevie Wonder out there and I grab it. And part of this was because I was going through the collection, my wife was going through the collection too. And you look, we have, you know, our collections on the phone, on a spreadsheet. And all it shows is that this isn't here, so it was pretty much chaos there. So, but that's the only time that's happened. That happened those 2 times. I hope. We've got the First Choice, Armed and Extremely Dangerous. My college buddies will remember this album. I actually did. I took television in college, and I did a video series, and we did kind of an action. Movie thing, and we featured music from this album on it, so it's kind of funny to find that. Got Chris Christopherson, Jesus Was a Capricorn. Chris Christopherson, he was always a little controversial for a country guy. The Who, The Kids Are All Right. That's a great compilation. I believe it was tied in with a movie that I have yet to see. I did grab a few Elton John albums in there. We got Madman Across the Water, which I had almost picked up a few times. By the way, the condition of these, he kept fairly good condition of them. I wasn't going to argue too much on a scratch here or there because of the price that I was getting. So this is one I grabbed because he recommended. I know nothing about it, but it's called Spyro Gyra. And he's like, you gotta take that one. And I said, okay, I'll take that one. I don't know anything about it. If you know anything about it, let me know in the comments. We got Rod Stewart, Every Picture Tells a Story. Somehow I didn't have that one yet. This was another one that he recommended if I like blues harmonica, Lee Oscar. I really don't know anything about him, but I do like the blues, and I do like blues harmonica. We got the Flying Burrito Brothers. I don't know if this is their final album, but it says Last of the Red Hot Burritos. So I don't know if it's a final. It might be, might not be. I don't know much about this band. I just know that they're very popular amongst the Grateful Dead kind of crowd. And there is some stuff in here for that crowd. This is more of my wife's pickup than mine. It's David Bowie's Last Dance. ZZ Top's Greatest Hits from the 70s. I had this on CD back in the day because this was the only way on CD for a long time to get the original recordings of a few songs until they came out with some more box sets. Out of all the things in there was a Taj Mahal album. I'm a huge fan of Taj Mahal. I don't know anything about this album in particular, but here we go. This was an update or an upgrade. Alan Parsons Project, Eye in the Sky. I do have a copy of this, but it is in very rough shape, so that was a nice upgrade. More blues. We got Through the Years with John Mayall. Bunch of guest stars on here: Mick Taylor, Peter Green, John McVie, Eric Clapton, of course, and others. So this is a nice double set with the plastic still on it there. So we'll have to go through that at some point. This was another upgrade. I do have a copy of Crosby, Stills and Nash so far with the Joni Mitchell artwork on it, but my copy is a little bit scratchy, so that's an upgrade. Supertramp, Breakfast in America. Never been that much of a Supertramp fan, but you know, they're more palatable when you're putting the music on yourself and not subjected to it on the radio all the time. Another Elton John album, Rock of Wishes. Don't know much about that one, but I'm sure it's great. We got Wings, Paul McCartney and Wings. Wildlife. I've been on a huge Beatles kick as of the last several months or whatever, so this has been on my list and I got it. We got some Johnny Entwistle solo album. Got to be some good bass on there. Wilson Pickett, Don't Knock My Love. Wilson Pickett. I got the Black Moses by Isaac Hayes. The guy assured me that this album was the album for a while. If you wanted to get in the mood, this was the one to put on. Somehow, my wife and I have been collecting vinyl now for about, I don't know how many years, and we did not have a copy of Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Now we do. It's like everyone else who collects records. Got Blue Kentucky Girl, Emmylou Harris. The Best of the Guess Who, which I do have on CD, but I got it on vinyl. Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra. Gonna reach out and grab you. This was I was kind of taken back to find this. There was they actually had a Dr. John album in there, which I rarely see Dr. John up here, if ever. And then he had a bunch of Leon Russell, who I love Leon Russell, and I don't have many of his albums. And now I got three more than I had before. We got the Will o' the Wisp. This one I've seen out and about before, and the Shelter People, but I've never taken the plunge on it. And then here we got Willie Nelson with Leon Russell, so that's pretty cool. Big double here, live performance. I'm sure it's going to be great. Okay, I'm just going to pause here and move some records around. Okay, and we're back. And this pile here, this is everything in here is going to make my buddy Bill, jealous. This might be why it's my favorite of the whole bunch here. So, first of all, we have The Mothers live at the Fillmore East from 1971. I do have a copy of this, but I think this might be a little bit of an upgrade because it is in great shape. We got here New Riders, The Adventure of Panama Red. This is one of Jerry Garcia's side projects, and some great artwork in here. Good stuff. But you know, as I look at the credits on this one, I actually don't see Jerry Garcia's name in this one. So I don't know if he's actually on this album, but he is on this one because he's on the back cover right there. That's Jerry right there. Maybe he's going under a pseudonym, but it says Jerry Garcia, pedal steel guitar, banjo. Let's see here. B Cage, pedal steel, B Cage. I don't know. Guess I got some research to do. We actually do have a Grateful Dead album here called Vintage Dead. And it is a live show recorded at the Avalon Ballroom, 1966. Ooh, that's an early show. We've got some Staples singers. Which one's this? Beautiful, Respect Yourself. George Harrison, Extra Texture, which the cover does have some like basketball, it feels like, texture on it. I got some James Taylor. I think this is, what is this, One Man and a Dog or something? One Man Dog. There you go. One Man Dog. James Taylor. Got John Lennon. Walls and Bridges. Here's a Captain Beefheart. You always see that fish one all the time. I've never seen this one. Strictly Personal. So give that a listen. And let's see here. Do I want to? Yeah, let's go with these ones here. We got Lumpy Gravy with Frank Zappa. I can hear Bill like he's just shaking his fist right now. I can hear him shake his fist. And we got Apostrophe. And the soundtrack, 200 Motels. I do have a reissue of this, but now I have an original to go with it. These are quite dusty. They're going to need to be cleaned up. And here we got some Bob Dylan. So we got Slow Train Coming. He actually had more Bob Dylan there, but it was stuff I already had. So Desire. The Basement Tapes, which is the outtakes with the band. And the comeback album in the 70s, Blood on the Tracks. So I know that Bill has these in his collection, but I know that he paid an arm and a leg for all these, and I paid yard sale prices for them. And I don't know why this was in the Bill section. This should be in my section, J.J. Cale. That was a mistake on my part to put that over there. But anyways, I like J.J. Cale, especially the stuff he did with Eric Clapton. So there, that's that. Okay, so these last few records here, these are ones that I've been looking for a while, sort of, kind of. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a huge AC/DC fan. And for the longest time, I have been saying that I have a complete AC/DC collection, which in my mind I do because I have everything that I want from them. There is technically, though, one album that I did not have on vinyl because I do not think it's their best album. And I have seen it out there, and I thought about buying it just to say collection's done, but it's always been a little bit more than I wanted to spend. But here it is at yard sale price. The cover isn't the greatest, but it's got like some damage to it. But I got myself a copy of Blow Up Your Video. So now I can finally say that, yes, indeed, I do have a complete AC/DC, North American collection of AC/DC. Complete. You know, I do have this on CD, so I did not feel like as if I had to buy it again, but for yard sale price, what the heck. Okay, these two records, since I started collecting, I've been looking for these records for a good price and in good condition, and I finally got, so I got the Rolling Stones, Shake Your Ya-Ya's out, which I have seen it quite a few times out there, but it's always been more than I wanted to spend, or it just wasn't in great condition. And finally I got it for a steal, really, and it's in wonderful shape. So I was happy to add that. And finally this one, I mean, this next album, yeah, I had been a fan of this version of the band. They actually showed up earlier, but this is the only vinyl I have of this version of the band. And I remember seeing this and, like, you know, in a discography or something like that, I'm like, wow, I'll never find that up here. I'll never find it for that. I'll have to buy it for, you know, an exorbitant price at some point. But here it was at the yard sale. So we got Fleetwood Mac in Chicago. This has, it's basically a bunch of studio recordings that they did. This is the Peter Green version of Fleetwood Mac before they had what's her face, Edge on 17 lady. I can't remember her name right now. I don't know why I'm blanking on her. The one that was hanging out with Tom Petty. What the heck's her name? Stevie Nicks. Thank you. Stevie Nicks yeah, this is the version of the band with Peter Green. They were very bluesy in that, and they're just hanging out in the studio with a bunch of blues musicians. You have Otis Spawn, Willie Dixon, Shaky Horton, J.T. Brown, Guitar Buddy. There's some guys on here I don't even know. I knew the first few guys, and then it started losing me. But I have listened to this in the past. I've streamed this in the past. I thought it was great. I have actually had been tempted to make like a CD version of it, and I said, no, I'm going to find this on vinyl one day, and somehow I knew. So there it is. It's in great shape. I mean, you got some ring wear, but the records themselves, you know, they just need a little bit of a cleaning, and we're good to go. So, whew, that was a pretty sweet find. And I was hoping when he was going back, there was several records that he took. Some of them had like sentimental value. One of them was a Frank Zappa album, and I can't remember, but I was hoping that he wouldn't take this one back, and I was so thankful that he didn't. So there you go. Those are the pickups. Like, you know, anytime you have a friend or something like that that says, hey, I know someone that's getting rid of their records, and you might think it's not worth it, or you're not in the mood, or you're a little busy right now, or whatever. The answer is yes. Just go and do it, because you never know what you're going to find, and you know, for the price, you're never going to be able to add that. Like, this is how you build a collection. You know, I have so many people that come and they look at all my records and they say, how much money did you spend on all these records? And it's a lot less than what you think if you wait for these opportunities and jump on them when they happen. You know, you can go to the store and spend $30, $40 for a record now in Canada. That's how much it costs, and it adds up. And we got, you know, we added a good chunk here for probably what you would spend for like maybe 5 or 6 records at full price. You know, so that's how you do it. Okay. Anyways, thanks guys so much for watching this video. I don't know when I'll do another one. Hopefully sooner than later, but we'll see you soon. Take care.